And welcome to the Auto Digest. I'm James White, once again back on the air with the program. And of course, we are here at Precision Automotive and Transmission. Now, you may recognize JD. He's the manager here at the shop. And, well, you were saying before we went on camera, kind of whatever needs to be done, you take care of it to a large degree.
Yes, that's
kind of
correct.
Kind of the definition of manager. And we're very lucky to have JD to talk to us here today. And we are bringing you a great new topic. This is a brand new piece of equipment. We're so excited. You know, that's one of the fun things that I like about Auto Digest is we always get to talk about new technology. And JD, you were telling me a little bit about this before we went on the air, and I said, well, hang on, I want to tell all the folks about this. We have a brand new alignment system here at the shop, and it's the Hunter Hawkeye, is that
That's correct?
Now tell me a little bit about this. Now, we went in the back and we kind of took a sneak peek of it, and you're going to get to see it here in just a moment. But boy, it is an impressive piece of technology.
Right, it is. It's state of the art. It's, at this point, it is the most current machine that you can buy. To our knowledge, there is no better. If you go to the Hunter magazine and you go to the very bottom to the last page and say, this is all of it, that's the machine that we bought.
Wow.
It's one of probably 2 or 3 in Lamar County. I think one of the other dealerships might have one, but as far as independent repair, we would be the only one.
Right. And you know, that's one of the things we always like to stress too about you guys. It doesn't matter what you drive, if it's foreign, domestic, you know, you can do all of the work right here at Precision Automotive and Transmission. You know, you don't have to drive into Dallas if you're driving something foreign. If you want to work here and work with folks that truly have the very latest technology and all ASE certified technicians, wow, you guys have that in spades here.
Right, that's 100% correct. It's kind of a full meal deal, as we call it. It's all makes and models. We try to stay as current with all the different variations of vehicles, different brands, models, makes, engine types, horsepowers.
So whatever you got.
Whatever your needs.
Yeah, we can take care of it here. Now, as far as the Hunter Hawkeye is concerned, now we went back there and looked, and I tell you, it looked a little bit like Star Wars. You got lasers going everywhere and this big computer screen.
This machine has every facet that a traditional alignment machine has ever had, and then it goes even a step further. The autonomous car is here in some instances and is coming in other instances. So we want to be as prepared as we can be, and so is the rest of the world. Not only would the autonomous car fit into this category, but also several GM, Ford, Mercedes, and BMW products that have lane changing assists built into the vehicles.
That's becoming very common out there. There are a lot of vehicles that have that, so that's really, really important. Tell us why that is so important, JD, as far as this machine and what it can do.
Right. For a vehicle to know the direction that it's going, it references where the steering wheel is. Now, once the vehicle knows where the steering wheel is and it knows that the tires are going straight by that coordinate, any input that the driver makes, also the vehicle will know because there's a sensor on the steering wheel. Now, once we go in and do a traditional alignment where we make sure that the wheels are not toed out or in and that they're straight, that vehicle no longer has a great reference point as to where the front tires are in relation to the steering wheel.
Kind of resets everything.
Kind of resets everything. That is the new last step of a front end alignment. This alignment machine, we can go in and recalibrate those down to 1/100th of a degree.
Wow. To
make sure that they're all perfect. So whenever you're driving down the road and someone pulls up next to you, your car still goes beep, 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 and lets you know that you're still in your lane and gives you a kind of a perspective of where others are around you.
Right. And like we said, that technology is, if it's not on a car that you're driving right now, it probably will be in the very near future. I've heard that as early as 2025, the autonomous car will actually be the norm. That will be more or less what everything new is out there. And of course, a lot of vehicles, beginning as early as this next model year, are going to be available, or a lot of manufacturers will have autonomous cars available.
They will. And there's a lot of trials and things going on right now. The Postal Service is exploring some of those options. You know, I don't know. I still think that the cars that we're seeing today will still be here in 2025, no doubt. But for this industry, there is a lot of changing, you know, ahead. But the Hunter Hawkeye alignment machine is supposed to exceed that 2025 barrier, and even moving into the future, this will still be a relevant piece of equipment.
As the technology improves, as the techniques improve, it really translates out into a better experience for the customer.
When you go in for a front end alignment and you leave and you notice when you sat down in your car and you drive down the road, wow, my vehicle drives better than it ever has before.
Right.
That's what makes you, appreciate your car, and that's what puts a smile on our face, is to see people who are leaving in cars that are better now than they were when they got here. So.
And one of the things that's always stressed to me, and it's not just me either when I come in here and talk to the folks at Precision, but I hear this at the counter when you guys are talking to other folks, it's really about safety too. It is a concern for you and your family, and to make sure that as you're out and about in that vehicle that it is as safe as it can possibly be, no matter the age, whether it's brand new just off the showroom floor or whether it's 10 years old. We want it to be safe because we want you to be safe. So
that's right.
Great work that they do here. Well, I'll tell you what, we've teased them enough. Why don't we go in the back, and we've got the machine all set up, and we're going to kind of go through some of the steps and get to see a vehicle aligned here on the Auto Digest. So on today's program, it is the Hunter Hawkeye, so don't go away. And welcome back to Precision Automotive and Transmissions Auto Digest. Hi, I'm James Wine once again, and we've moved back to the, now Neil calls it the dungeon, but it doesn't look like a dungeon to me. We've moved back here to the back room at Precision Automotive and Transmission, and we're here, of course, with Neil, and he is, of course, a familiar face here on the program, and we are talking the Hunter Hawkeye alignment system today. Now, this is a brand new piece of technology. Very excited to bring this to you today. We've got a Tahoe that has just been pulled up onto the rack. We just saw that a few moments ago. Robert is standing by patiently over there, and we are going to go through the full alignment here, and we're going to show you some of the features of this particular piece of technology. Neil, this is really exciting. It looks very impressive. I mean, like something out of Star Wars. We got lasers on both sides and a big computer in the middle. Tell us, though, a little bit about why alignment is so important.
Well, there's many points as far as why it's important. We've got fuel mileage. We know fuel mileage is very important. If your fuel mileage is down, then you're throwing money out the window. It's just a big waste. Tires are expensive nowadays. A lot of your cars are going with run flat tires, which can be very expensive. Manufacturers are going with larger diameter wheels. So I mean, the price of tires is just going up. So we know that premature tire wear is a waste of money. So anything we can do to save the customer money in that aspect as well. And safety. We want to make sure that all cars that are on the road that we work on are safe. And this new machine helps us with that. It's a lot faster than the older machines. It's a lot more precise, and it does a lot of things that a lot of the new vehicles that are equipped with autonomous drive or semi-autonomous driving, and lane keep and lane change and adaptive cruise control, and the list goes on as far as what they're going to add to it. And this machine keeps us up to date with those and allows us to accurately and correctly work on these vehicles.
Now, and to show you how common that is, I mean, if you're thinking, well, I'll never, have a vehicle that has all that, well, that's out there. In fact, I've heard by 2025, we're going to have the majority of vehicles are going to be autonomous out there. Now, this Tahoe that we've pulled up, it has the lane change.
This is semi-autonomous, yes. This one will, it has braking capabilities. That way, if somebody was to slam on the brakes in front of you while you're looking over at something else on the side, this vehicle will apply the brakes to prevent a collision. If you start drifting over the line, this vehicle will pull the vehicle back in the line so you don't veer off into somebody else's lane as well.
And our Hunter Hawkeye is going to help us make sure that that works exactly as it should. All right, well, we've moved around here so you can see the Tahoe that we pulled up, and we're working with the Hunter Hawkeye system. And Neil, now tell us, Robert is raising up the vehicle here, and we're getting ready to start putting on, because none of this just happens, in a vacuum. You've got to actually attach some equipment to the vehicle.
Right, we have to attach the equipment to the vehicle. The things that we're going to do is we're going to raise the vehicle up so that we can get to it, just make it a little easier for us to work on. But the first things we're going to do is we're going to check our tire pressure, and we're going to torque our wheels.
Neil, now why is tire pressure important?
Well, tire pressure is important because the machine is going to use sensors that attach to these wheels. Now, when it attaches to these wheels, it's going to read the different angles. So if our tire pressures are not right, it's going to have the angles off, and it can actually alter our reading, and we can have an incorrect alignment. So we have to do that. The pressures that we're going to use, we're not just going to make up. We're going to go by the manufacturer. So we're going to look on the door. The door is going to tell us what the tire pressure should be on this vehicle, and that's what we're going to set it to for the alignment.
Okay, Robert's done that, so he's moving in now to work on the tires and get the pressure all evened out, so we're ready to go there. Now, again, too, with this particular machine, it's very important that you kind of start with everything as close to manufacturer's specifications as possible, because we're really going to reset everything back to a certain point, correct?
Yes, we're going to put this vehicle back to like new off the showroom floor, and actually hopefully better than off the showroom floor.
Really? Wow.
So that we keep fuel mileage efficient, we keep tire wear from prematurely happening, and we make sure that the vehicle's safe and that all the extra systems that are added on to this are going to work properly.
Well, we've moved over here to the driver's side of the vehicle to be next to Robert, as he is doing what now for us, Neil?
Well, he's torquing the wheels. We've got our tire pressure set, but we want to make sure that our wheel fasteners are tight and that the wheel is secure against the hub, because like I said, this is all measured off of angles.
Okay.
And if the wheel is not secured properly to the hub and the wheel's not on straight, it can be crooked, and that again is going to throw off our reading. So what we do is we always check the torque of the wheels, and it does two things. One, it makes sure that the wheel is seated against the hub, and two, it lets us know if anybody else has worked on it and if somebody's might have left a wheel loose. We always torque the wheels on it. Like I said, we're very safety minded here. Every vehicle that comes through the shop, we're going to put a torque wrench on the wheel studs, and whatever the manufacturer specifies, that's what we're going to set these at.
All right, now Robert has moved under the vehicle, and he's got another device that he's using to do what with, Neil?
Well, what we're going to do right now is we've got to make sure that the front end on this vehicle is in good shape before we can properly align it.
Okay.
What Robert's going to do is he's going to do a front end shakedown, and what he's going to do is he's going to check ball joints, tie rods, inners and outers, uppers and lowers, and any play that we find or slack in this front end, that's going to prevent us from doing a proper alignment. A lot of people don't do this. They'll just pull it in, they'll do the alignment, oh, it looks good, send it down the road,
right.
Set the toe, and they're good. Well, there's other factors that can come into play. Anytime we have this play in the front end, it can alter our readings and it can skew them. We can make it look good, but once something moves and that slack moves,
right.
then our front end's off again. We did no good. It was a waste of money.
Yeah.
So what he's going to do is he's going to make sure everything's in good shape, and then after we verify that the front end is good and that it is capable of being aligned, then we'll proceed with the alignment. But if we find any parts that have any excessive play in them,
right.
then at that point we have to address that, repair that, and then go proceed with the alignment.
So really the first few steps are all about making sure everything is where it should be, everything's tight and secure, so that we have a good starting point to let the Hunter Hawkeye do its job.
That's right.
Well, now, Neil, I got all excited. You said we were going to bring out the targets. I thought we were going to do a little bit of shooting, but not that kind of shooting.
Not that kind of shooting.
What Robert's got for us here is basically what we're going to be attaching to the wheels themselves, so that the laser can target them. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. This right here, these attach to the wheels. They attach directly to the wheels. And there was a big long drawn out process that you had to do to make sure that the wheels the targets were properly centered, and they had to be leveled, and this and that, and it was a big long process. Well, what Hunter has done, and it's really streamlined this, is they've come up with these new targets. These new targets will clip onto the wheels, just onto the tires. They still seat against the wheels, but what happens is we're going to set them on there, we're going to do a run out, and this thing is going to compensate for any inconsistency as far as the targets not be sitting exactly straight.
All right.
So this thing's going to compensate for our errors that we always, we're going to make. We're not perfect,
right.
But once we've got it on there, we do the run out, then the machine is going to use lasers, as you said, to shoot, and it's going to measure the distance between these targets, and that's what's going to help us determine the angles and the camber and caster, and if anything's out of adjustment.
Now, Robert's got all of our target range set up here. So we're getting ready to do some shooting here in just a second, but now it looks like you're going to do some price checking. What do you got here?
We're going to do some price checking. We're going to see what the price of this Tahoe is.
Oh, I'm scared. All right. No, this actually is something that's going to basically help us find out exactly what this vehicle is going to need as far as measurements are concerned with
That's
your
right.
Hunter Hawkeye,
That's
right?
All vehicles are different. They all have a different camber caster allowance as far as where they need to be, even year to year. We've had vehicles that came in that were the same body style, but year to year there was a difference in the way the manufacturer wanted the alignment to be set.
Right.
Now, these are all based off of manufacturer's specifications. Hunter acquires those from the manufacturer. So what this is going to do is we're going to scan the VIN with this,
okay.
And this is going to load this vehicle into the Hunter Quick Check, and that's going to let us know, all right, what specifications do we need to set this to. So it just makes it a lot more precise.
And I would imagine as new cars come out or new year models come out, we're going to see that information automatically updated in this Hunter Hawkeye.
Yes.
And so that you're always on top of it.
Yes.
You always have everything that you need right there at your fingertips. So there's no guessing.
Right.
No, well, we didn't get that update or anything. It's all done automatically and just with the click of a button.
That's it.
Awesome.
Quick and easy. So there you go.
Well, we've done our price check. No, seriously, what we've done is we've scanned the VIN, correct?
That's right.
And what we've got now is an exact match as far as this vehicle is concerned with the manufacturer's specifications. I saw this pop up on the screen instantly, so tell us what we're looking at.
Well, it is almost an exact match. Now, we have to do just a little bit of legwork here. There are what they call RPO codes. Every vehicle is set up different.
Okay.
There's different suspensions as far as does it have rear air assist on the back to help for load leveling? Is it four-wheel drive? So on and so forth. So there are a few different options that we have to verify. So if you look, you'll see it's RPO, QHX, QSS. Right. So what we have to do is we're going to have to find the RPO codes, which on this one's real simple. It's in the glove box. All we've got to do is open the glove box up. We're going to look and verify which RPO code that we have. And that's going to make sure we hit the nail right on the head and we're exactly where we need on the vehicle.
You were digging around in the glove box there, and that glove box is a lot neater than mine is, I can tell you that right now. But let me tell you what we found out, basically, is we're looking at the one that's already highlighted, which is the 4x2, which is just I guess the basic one.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, if we'd have had any of these extra packages, we would have selected those, and that would have possibly altered our readings so that, we might not have got the correct alignment. But now that we know what we have, we can correctly do the correct alignment and have the right specifications.
We've got a reset required warning screen that has come up here. Now, why is this so important? Because it came up in red. It looks important.
They give you a real big bright ding and warning, to let you know that this is important. Like we talked about earlier, with all the options that are added onto these vehicles, there's a lot of extra sensors and stuff that have to be relearned and recalibrated. Okay. So the great thing about this machine is this machine not only does the alignment, but this machine itself will do the calibration for our sensors.
Wow.
So it makes it a lot easier. It's a lot quicker. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of stuff that they've really streamlined. So it just makes this process a whole lot faster. And then also it lets us know, hey, this is required on this vehicle. We can't just do the alignment and shoot it out the door.
Okay, very good. He's getting ready to, you said, roll the vehicle.
He's going to roll the vehicle.
So he's going to actually physically move it?
He's going to physically roll the vehicle.
All right.
And I said these sensors are designed to mount on multiple different vehicles, different wheels. So in order to make sure that we get the right measurement, we have to do a rollout. Right. And when he rolls it forward, what it's going to do is it's going to compensate for any error that could be as far as the sensors not being exactly where they need to be.
All right, so we can see Robert down there, and he's going to do, there he goes. He's not even going to break a sweat. Look at that.
He's going to roll it forward onto these pads, and these are what they call turntables. All they are is they're just plates with ball bearings in them that allow the front end to be turned easily.
So you can turn the front wheels. Oh, okay, that makes perfect sense.
So you're not having to drag them across the lift.
All right. So now he's starting the vehicle to...
Well, what he's going to do is he's going to install the brake pedal depressor, and that's just going to keep the vehicle from rolling.
Okay.
And then he's going to turn the wheels left to right, and what it's going to do is it's going to take its measurements.
And as he's turning that, we can actually physically see them turning here, but then we can also see them on the computer screen. Now, when it lights up green like that, does that mean that we've got a go wheel there, or what?
Well, it's just the target range. It says turn it this far so I can take a measurement, turn it this far to the left, to the right, and then back to center, and then I'm going to take my measurements.
All right. Well, Robert's jumped back down out of the vehicle now, and he's moving over to the computer, and we're going to see what else he's got for us here. This vehicle is in pretty good shape.
It is. It is. It's 26,000 miles on the vehicle. If you go to Oklahoma, how great the roads are over there. Just because one has low mileage, we can't just assume that everything's good. We don't know how the vehicle's been driven. We don't know if it's been involved in any accidents.
Right.
We can't assume these things. So, it's best to measure them. It's got a few that are out just a little bit, but everything's in the green.
Obviously, this one's in pretty good shape, but are there some little things that we could look at and see that would maybe give us some indication of, hey, we need to go see the folks at Precision?
If you kind of pay attention, every morning it's kind of a habit for me. I get up, I kind of walk around my vehicle, which I kind of naturally have to. the way I park.
Right.
So I kind of glance down, I look, if I've got a low tire, I see it. And I actually noticed on my truck here not too long ago that my tires were wearing wrong. Well, I've got a lot of miles on my truck. I'm sure I need some front end. I need to get the front end looked at. Any components that are, loose or damaged need to be replaced, and then it needs to be, aligned. But that lets me know, hey, my tires are wearing funny. I've got a problem. If you see your tires chopping out, or if you notice the outsides are bald or the insides are bald and the center looks like brand new, something's going on. And you're constantly having to pull it back one way or the other.
Right.
Kind of keep in mind of that. If you hear any noises, or if you live on a road, a naturally rough road, or if you drive out in the field a lot, a place where the front end's really going to take a beating, it's really kind of a good idea to keep an eye on it.
Okay.
Once a year is always, you can't go wrong.
Everything looks good here, but this is precision automotive and transmission. That means we want it exactly right. Precise.
Not in the ballpark, but
right.
Precise.
So like I said, we've got green numbers. Everything looks good. This might be good enough for some, but it's not good enough for precision. So what are we going to do now?
Well, what we're going to do is, you can see we've got a few. These should be pretty much in the center. They kind of give you a window. It is in the green, but it's off just a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this thing precise, right where it's supposed to be. And then once we've got this thing exactly where it's supposed to be, because like I said, right now it's off just a little bit down the road. If you take that little bit and add a little bit more, well, now it's out a lot.
Right.
So we make sure we just keep it right where it's supposed to be, right on the line, keep it precise. And then we're going to go through and we're going to relearn our steering angle sensor so that everything else works in conjunction with the alignment that we just did.
Robert is kind of clicking through a few things, checking a few things, and again, we're going through the whole process to make sure that absolutely, positively everything is as precise as it possibly can be.
That's right. We're on the money. We've got it where it's supposed to be. Now we're going to do the steering angle relearn.
All right, now Robert's been a busy man for the last couple of minutes, and we have got everything up to precision standards.
Precision standards.
Which means that it is perfect. We got everything in the green, but I mean really centered.
Really in the green.
Really in the green.
We were in the green before, but it's now really in the green. So.
And you've got a handy dandy printout.
Right,
here.
and yeah, this printout, basically what this is, this shows our before and after. So what we'll do is we'll give this to the customer. The customer will know, hey, my vehicle was in this kind of shape before. It's in this kind of shape now.
That's right.
I'm where I'm supposed to be now.
You can share this with your friends. Say, you think your alignment's good? Look how good mine is. Right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So now the most important thing that we've got to do, and which is the great thing about this machine, is the steering angle reset. Like I said, we've moved stuff around.
Right.
Well, we've got a sensor on the steering shaft that lets us know where the position of the steering wheel is.
Okay.
So now that we've moved stuff around, that sensor is probably not reading where it's supposed to be. It's got to be on 0.
And this is really important for the semi-autonomous
That's
and,
right.
of course, the full autonomous vehicles as well, too. So that's why this is so important that this technology is available right here at Precision Automotive and Transmission.
That's right. So now we'll just let her down, we'll plug that up, and then
we're ready to go.
We'll be ready to go.
Awesome.
Happy customer. Got it. On a lot of the other videos that we've done, you've seen us, we always talk about the data link connector.
Right.
It's usually 18 inches from the steering wheel. This actually plugs in, uses the same connector. It plugs in with the data link. And what it's going to do is it's going to interface with the analog brake and traction control and whatever else that this system uses. It's going to plug into that. It's going to communicate with it. And that's going to allow us to properly calibrate this sensor. So. Power the vehicle on.
All right.
We're all hooked up. So now what it's going to do is it's going to communicate with the vehicle. It's going to acquire the data that it needs to be able to make this correct. So if you look, it's not far off.
No.
It's 0.3, but we don't want 0.3. We want 0.
Because it's precision automotive and transmission, yes.
Turn the key off, let the system power down. Wait 60 seconds and then turn the key back on.
All right. So, every time I come down here, it's kind of like a, sort of a science show because we see something new almost every time we come in here. And you guys stay on top of all this stuff like
we do.
Like crazy.
We've got to have the capacity to work on these vehicles. So, and without the technology and without the training, we're not capable. So we have to stay on top of that to be able to, service our customers correctly. I think we've waited 60 seconds. We will turn her back on. Got it back on. We're going to select continue.
And
now you're going to turn it back off and wait 10 seconds.
wait 10 more seconds. All right.
Each vehicle's got a different procedure,
Right.
reset procedure. So we have to follow the factory procedure. So
Okay.
this machine's going to put it back where it's supposed to be, or where it needs to be. So
All right. Very good. Well, Robert took care of turning it off for us, and Robert's got it back on for us. We hit continue. Our little progress bar is moving across there. That's a very satisfying feeling
It
to
is.
see those progress bars move across the
It
screen
is.
there. All right.
So now it tells us that the calibration was successful and verify that we're at 0. So if we look, our steering angle sensor is at 0.
So that was 0.3 a while ago, and basically in a matter of about a minute or so, minute and a half, we've now got it exactly as it
where
needs
it's supposed to be.
Wow, that is amazing.
So now we can release this back to the customer. What this is going to do, this is just going to go through and program these settings back into it. But now, once it's programmed in, all we have to do is we're going to drive it, verify that the vehicle does not pull to the right, to the left, and then at that point we'll release it to the customer, and they should be tickled to death.
Well, Neil, Robert, gosh, guys, thank you so much for showing us this today. It's the Hunter Hawkeye. It's available here at Precision Automotive and Transmission. Just another tool that they're using to make sure that you stay safe and they keep your vehicle in tip-top condition.
That's right.
Any final thoughts on it?
Well, like I said, just pay attention to your vehicle. We've got lights that pop up that let us know, hey, there's something wrong with different systems. Check engine lights, airbag lights, brake lights. There's no light really for an alignment. So just keep an eye on your vehicle. Notice if it pulls to the right, to the left, if your tires are wearing prematurely. We do offer a quick check,
Right.
and it's just a real quick, hey, lets us glance at it and let you know if it's way out or if it's within an acceptable range. But that's something that we can do within a matter of 5 minutes.
Wow, so that's perfect. If you think you've got a problem, pull in here for 5 minutes and get it checked out.
That's right. It's a real quick deal. Like I said, tires are expensive, gas is expensive, and safety, we're very safety minded. So anything we can do to help you save gas, save tires, keep you on the road, keep you out of the shop, and keep you safe.
All right. So we appreciate it. We appreciate you for watching today. Again, Precision Automotive and Transmission, the Auto Digest. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the road.